there's a belief many Africans carry when they prepare to move abroad. It sounds simple, logical, and deeply hopeful. Once I get my degree, or once I use the degree I already have, everything will fall into place. Degrees are powerful. They represent sacrifice, discipline, and ambition. Families invest heavily in education because they believe it opens doors to a better future, and in many cases, it does. But here's the uncomfortable truth that few people say out loud. A degree alone does not make you rich abroad. In fact, for many African immigrants, the biggest surprise is realizing that the system they entered rewards something very different from what they were taught back home. This is not a criticism of education. It is a conversation about expectations and about understanding how wealth is actually built in Western economies. Let's start with the first reality. A degree is a key, not a guarantee. Imagine arriving in a new country holding a beautifully crafted key. You believe it opens a door to financial success. But when you reach the building, you realize there are many doors, and your key only opens one of them. Degrees often help people get jobs, but jobs alone do not automatically lead to wealth. Many African immigrants secure employment quickly, yet years later, they still feel financially stuck. The salary pays bills, but it doesn't always create long-term growth. Why does this happen? Because in many Western systems, wealth comes from ownership, assets, investments, businesses, not just qualifications. This leads us into the second truth. The job market abroad values experience differently. A degree earned in Africa may represent years of hard work, but employers abroad often prioritize local experience, networks, and communication style. This creates a situation where highly qualified immigrants start in roles below their skill level. Imagine climbing a ladder only to find yourself asked to start again from the middle instead of the top. The reset can feel frustrating, especially when you know your capabilities. Some people respond by earning more degrees, believing another certificate will finally unlock higher income. But the reality is that stacking qualifications without strategic positioning can lead to what some call degree inflation. More education without proportional financial reward. And this connects directly to the third reality, the income illusion. When Africans move abroad, salaries often appear larger compared to income back home. But higher income does not automatically mean wealth. Taxes, rent, transport, and daily expenses reduce disposable income significantly. Picture filling a large bucket with water only to realize there are small holes at the bottom. No matter how much you pour in, the level stays almost the same. Many degree holders find themselves in professional roles that look impressive, but leave little room for saving or investing. The lifestyle may feel stable, yet wealth growth remains slow. At this point, it's important to pause for a moment. If this conversation is helping you rethink how education fits into the bigger picture, consider subscribing and sharing this video with someone who believes degrees alone guarantee success abroad. Because understanding the next point changes how you approach your entire career. Let's talk about the skill versus credential gap. Western economies often reward soft skills, communication, negotiation, networking, as much as technical knowledge. Many Africans come from education systems that emphasize mastery of subject matter, but less emphasis on self-promotion or professional branding. This difference creates a quiet disadvantage. Imagine two people with the same qualifications. One knows how to present achievements confidently, build relationships, and navigate workplace culture. The other focuses solely on technical excellence. Over time, the first person may advance faster, not because they are more capable, but because they understand how the system measures value. This is not always fair, but it is real. And when career progression feels slower than expected, many immigrants turn toward another strategy, working more hours instead of building leverage. extra shifts, side hustles, and overtime become the default solution to financial pressure. While this increases income temporarily, it often reduces time available for learning about investing, entrepreneurship, or wealth-building strategies. Think of it like running faster on a treadmill. You're moving constantly, but your financial position stays in the same place. Now, let's address something deeper: the cultural narrative around education. In many African communities, education is seen as the ultimate path to success. Parents encourage children to pursue prestigious degrees because historically, qualifications created stability and respect. But abroad, the rules of the game are different. A degree may open the first door, but wealth often grows through what happens after that: investing early, building multiple income streams, and understanding financial systems that are rarely taught in classrooms. Imagine being given a map to a city that shows only one road, while locals know dozens of shortcuts. The map is useful, but incomplete. And this brings us to another hidden factor: debt and student loans. Many immigrants pursue additional degrees abroad to improve their chances in the job market. While education can be valuable, student loans can delay wealth building for years. Monthly repayments reduce the amount available for saving or investing. Some people graduate with new qualifications only to realize they've traded financial freedom for long-term debt. This doesn't mean education is a mistake. It means education must be part of a broader strategy. Let's explore what that strategy might look like. First, understand that degrees are tools, not destinations. Instead of chasing more qualifications automatically, focus on how your existing skills connect to high-growth industries or entrepreneurial opportunities. Second, learn the financial systems around you. Investing, tax planning, and credit management often play a larger role in wealth building than academic achievement alone. Third, redefine success. Instead of measuring progress solely by job titles or salary, consider how much of your income turns into assets that grow over time. And perhaps most importantly, embrace adaptability. Many Africans who eventually build wealth abroad do something unexpected. They combine their education with new skills, digital entrepreneurship, property investment, or professional networking that expand their opportunities beyond traditional employment. Imagine education as the foundation of a house. Without walls, windows, and a roof, the foundation alone does not create a home. Wealth comes from building the entire structure. As we approach the end of this conversation, let's return to the question at the heart of it all. Why don't degrees make you rich abroad? Because wealth systems reward ownership, leverage, and strategy more than credentials alone. Degrees can open doors, but they do not determine what you build once you walk through them. If this perspective changed how you see your journey, share this video with someone who believes another certificate is the only path forward, and leave a comment about your own experience. Has your degree helped you build wealth, or has the journey been more complex than expected? Because the goal is not to abandon education. The goal is to understand its true role. A degree can introduce you to opportunity, but turning opportunity into lasting wealth requires something deeper: awareness, adaptation, and the courage to look beyond the story many of us were taught growing up. And once you understand that difference, your degree stops being a finish line and becomes the starting point for something much bigger.